So I just wanted to do that, to invite you to that tertulia. But also, if you don't want to go through the tertulia itself, let me just tell you briefly what we spoke about. Well, first, Robert is talking about, because Robert is very much on this topic of CIC, of, disclosing who they are and finding out who is behind. As you know, it's already established, the CIC, that's totally human. And we have the names, Robert has the names. I don't really bother much with the CIC itself, because for me it's a very low level of the operation. So I am more interested, I would be more interested, even though that's very, very difficult, of course, to know what's happening on the top level of this whole shenanigan. But yes, Robert is there talking about the CIC. He has the names of the humans, not step-downs with the terrestrial identities, though totally human people who have been working behind the CIC 1, CIC 3, and 7. We don't know who else is there, but these people are there for sure. And these are the people that have been sending you thank you notes, which is a shame, because, we have all been told ourselves as well, and you especially, that all these donations that you are sending, they're going to be signed by the extraterrestrial themselves, by the taygétiennes, and it's not the case. It's basically Lula and her team. So that's that. But that's Robert's side of things, okay? I don't occupy myself much with that, but I'm telling you this because that's what he said in the tertulia. Okay, now I also mentioned something very interesting that happened to me, I believe, on the 21st of August. 21st of August is my birthday, which I do not advertise because I don't celebrate birthdays. I don't really care. I don't do nothing. I don't like birthday wishes. So I keep it quiet, but I'm mentioning it because I believe something happened. Okay. For the last year, of course, this whole year, and I told you that this was like the worst year of my life, basically. It's true. It still keeps being that way, even though it's a bit better now. But for the last 2 months, since we made that first announcement, it hasn't been easy at all. I'll mention that in a bit as well. However, something happened on the 21st that completely erased my toxic feelings about this whole situation. Okay, so 21st, it's my birthday. Matthias and Matthias is my boyfriend, my partner. He doesn't like to be called boyfriend because he believes it's childish. So we say partner. So we go to the crystal shop. Are you there? Because no one is chatting. I don't know if I'm still there. We go to the crystal shop because he is very much into rocks and stones right now. Matthias, can you hear me? Can someone say something? Okay. Or are you so drawn into my story? Okay. Are you there? Can you hear me? Okay, yes, wiggle room, thank you very much. So we go to the crystal shop and I see a little Herkimer quartz. Herkimer quartz, and I touched it, and suddenly when I touched it, I really felt transported somewhere beyond, somewhere like to the higher, very crystal clear ground. So Matthias tells me he's going to buy it for me for my birthday. At first I refused because the Herkimer quartz are not very cheap. I didn't want that, but he insisted. Yes, so he got it for me. This is it. And there, you see? Okay, so I meditated on that day, 21st August, my birthday, with that Herkimer, and I literally felt, like I told you, catapulted into some kind of a very elevated state. Okay, the same day, 21st August, Mari, if I remember correctly, that day, doesn't make a video. I don't know, I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's connected. I don't know. I don't remember the reason because I don't follow the channel, but I do remember the people telling me she didn't make the video. So she didn't make the video. Okay, now 21st August is also my immersion entry date. Yes, I came in here according to the information I was given by them on the 21st August in 2017, just a few months before meeting them on my birthday. So now, why is this strange? Because the next day, literally the next day after I was touching this Herkimer, playing with it in my hands, meditating, from one day to another, just like that, I felt like all these toxic energies and emotions that I have been feeling all those prior months have been erased. But it was so strange. It was like it was cut off, like really someone came in and quantically, etherically cut it off and cleared it. I didn't do it myself. I don't know, did I? With a Herkimer quartz? Did my higher self did that? Or, I don't know, did something happen? Was I woken up from my immersion pod and someone spoke to me there and explained some things, and that's why I got this strange calm over me? It was very strange, but I'm telling you about this because it was just so sudden. You know, when you have a healing process, when you are healing negative emotions and sadness and depression, it takes time. It's something that you need to heal in time. And I thought to myself, I was even telling Matthias about this a few days before that. I said, you know, this state I am in, it cannot be just recovered from just like that. Because Matthias has been telling me, don't just move on, you know, forget about these assholes and just move on. No, it's not like that. And I will talk about this a little bit too. It takes time to heal, to understand, to process everything. But with this, and with whatever happened on the 21st August, and Mari didn't make the video, something happened and I was like taken out of that state magically. Like someone did that for me, you know? I didn't need time to recover or to process. So I started to feeling very good after that. I was even trying to find those older feelings of toxicity and sadness. I was telling Matthias, it feels like I am swimming literally through the sea of emotions to find that older emotions that I had, and I couldn't find them. It's like, where are they? What is this? I'm talking about the emotions of sadness and like depression, a little bit of depression, you know, because it's a difficult situation. So anyway, and that's what I'm telling in Tertulia. So I'm just sharing you so you know what this Tertulia is about. But something I did not mention in the Tertulia after I shared the story, because it sounds, watching that Tertulia, that, oh yeah, I'm happy. Now on the 21st August something happened, someone cleared me and I am just peaceful and I feel okay and everything is great, neutralized. Yeah. But what I didn't say there is that, yes, well, yes, something happened. I have been cleared of something magically by someone or by my higher self, I don't know. But it doesn't mean that I am totally okay. And Robert isn't either. And this is something you must be aware that even though we are continuing and, you know, keeping the frequency and being strong and maintaining the frequency and continuing with work, because the work is going to continue, of course, I have to be totally honest with myself and with everybody. And I feel it's important for the healing process is to admit that this is not an easy situation. It's a crapper situation. This situation is super, super heavy for us. Super bizarre, super sad, strange. It's so much responsibility, so much pressure, so much tension, so much humiliation. Public humiliation, because all these different things that were said about us that are totally lies, but they were said, and people who don't know us don't know, by the supposed taygétienne team, supposed, that we have been so devoted to and to this cause for 7 years. That's just like humiliating, right? And we have to deal with that in the public because many people don't know. And many people don't know us and our story and what we have done and what we have accomplished, how much we have given of ourselves and of our life to this. During the pandemic time, for example, I remember myself walking the streets in the dark here in Finland, spreading the pamphlets with the information that Anneka was sharing, you know, putting the flyers away, designing them in all the languages. This is not seen by the newcomers. Wiggle room betrayal is the worst. Well, it's not a betrayal if it's infiltration, of course. It's not. But this is actually something we were talking about with Robert in Tromsø when we were walking around. We were saying to ourselves, imagine that this is real. Imagine, okay, in speculative realm, that this is real, what's happening there, right? The Mari is really there, Yaski is there, Athena is there. Well, excuse me, but in that way, them, Yaski, Athena, Dorkalel, Naishara, knowing us and allowing all that was said in that channel about us, knowing that it's all not true, for me, for us, if it was real, of course, if they were really there, then that would be the greatest betrayal of all. Galactic level betrayal, because what we said, yes, because you could for sure say, well, but you started it and you said what you said about it. Yes, but we basically just presented the facts based on the facts. We didn't lie. We showed the screenshots. Specifically, I took the time to present everything well, not based on words, because they said blah, blah words, but we presented evidence, we presented screenshots, we presented the facts, something that none of you can deny because you can also see that. And we presented all that as red flags pointing to something strange. But the response was, because of course there was going to be a response, that's natural. If I was there, I would respond as well, but not based on lies. Because everything that was said as a response was based on nothing, on words, on lies. So that's what I'm saying, that if Yaski was really there, that's why they cannot be there, because knowing them, our friendship, how it was, till the end, I don't see how they would allow that, because they knew better, they knew us. We had the deep friendship until the very end. I mean, the last words from Yaski, you know that, were, why did Matthias leave the server? And she will look sad and with a heart. This is just very strange. And Athena's last words, I do not trust this new incoming taygétienne crew. Her last words, and she disappeared. So yeah, talking about betrayals, we were talking about with Robert about the speculating. Okay, if they were really there, that would be that would be the level of the betrayal that I don't even know if I would be able to recover from, ever. You know, it's like whenever I say I don't trust the people, whenever I say that, you know, and when I say that, I mean I trust the person in the moment, but I also believe that anybody can turn against you at any point. And that's just facts. And we can even see this with our community. People who are always seem very passionate and supportive, at some point they may change their mind and may turn against you. And that's what I mean. I don't trust anybody in that sense. But I would never in a million years suspect that that would ever include someone above. And that's why I'm saying it cannot be anybody above there anymore, because it's just, that's not how they were with us. It's not how the friendship was. It's not how the relationship was until the very, very end. Like I said in my Telegram group just yesterday, there were never any, never, here and there, maybe years ago, but there were never any misunderstandings. So people who come and say in the comments, I hope you can clear your misunderstandings, there is nothing to clear because there was never any misunderstanding. I have no idea. This is like from day and night, something changed. I shared with you in Telegram just yesterday. the Athena's screenshots when she came in August, and she told us for the first time in English, she told me, Mari is going to come coordinate with you and Robert. She's going to work with you around the subjects. I was shocked because I didn't expect that. I never asked for that. We never expected that. I even suggested this was maybe not a good idea because it was too much on her hands. I didn't want to add or burden her with more tasks. That's how I am. That's why I'm saying that all these things said about us is totally against my personality, my character, my integrity. And that's why it hurts so much, because these new people that come in, they listen to that, they don't know. But for the 7-8 years, I took special care around this whole friendship, not to be that person. Always respect the time, always respect the space, the freedom. The freedom. How many times I have been always saying they have to be free. Each one of us here has to be always free. We have to be mutually involved. It has to be based on respect. So in that conversation with Athena, I'm sharing with you, you can go to Telegram or to Facebook, and I'm showing you that conversation with that, where she's sharing that Mari is going to come talk to us. And it was a surprise to me because we never expected that. It was her idea, but she never did. That's when they got sick, and that's when things started to become strange. That's when things started to become strange at the end of the last year. Well, exactly, Eva Carolina. If we're so demanding all the bad things, the contact would have not lasted more than 7 years. It wouldn't have. What are they so such? It would be they would be such victims that we have so much power. We're manipulating. Wow, they just cannot get out. Like what? It's been always super mutual. So there is no misunderstandings to clear. They just disappeared. Like I said in my Telegram as well, I said it would be like Matthias disappears suddenly. Like everything is great. We have a great relationship. He gives me a kiss. He goes to work. He says goodbye. See you tomorrow. He gives me a kiss. He goes. He disappears. And suddenly a third party comes in, a third party, and speaks for him. The third party who doesn't know our relationship starts to speak for him and says to me and to the public, Matthias has left. The relationship was very abusive, and Gosia stole from him. She stole money. She was checking his phone all the time. Like, what? That's exactly how it feels to me. It's been a bunch of lies. Like, what? What the hell? No. The last time Matthias was here, he gave me a kiss, and we hugged, and everything was perfect. Like, don't invent stuff. So there is no misunderstandings to clear. So that's what I wanted to say. But yeah, going back to my Herkimer and feeling calm. Yes, since 21st August, I started to feel calm, but at the same time, this is a very heavy situation for us. It's very stressful and very painful. And it's not something we can just turn the page on. And that's something I want to also comment. Someone said in the comments, why don't you just turn the page already? Well, okay. First of all, it's very easy to give such advice from the other side when you are not in the person's shoes, when you are not involved. This has been our life and my whole purpose in life, really, my major purpose in life, rather, for the last 8 years. And if we understand that my immersion happened in 2017, well, then basically my whole stay on Earth has to do with this, right? Of course, I remember my previous existence as Gosia, but, you know, if we take this information as a fact, and I don't have grounds not to believe that, well, then this whole situation, this whole contact experience, this friendship, this work has been all my life on Earth. It's been my life. I gave so much energy to this, and I am still giving my energy to this because I'm not going anywhere. So it's not something that you can turn the page from it's easy, like I'm saying, if you are from the outside. Also, the next point related to this, what does it mean turn the page? Does it mean me going and selling fruit now on the market, doing completely something different? Well, I don't want to. I don't want to, because this is what I enjoy doing. I love sharing videos and helping somehow with what I have, with what I can do, helping the collective of humankind on Earth, on this planet. This is my contribution. I found my contribution and I am very fulfilled here. And I love doing this. So I'm not going to turn the page because, first of all, I continue believing in the taygétienne information and knowledge and what they gave. And they gave so much. So much has been shared, and you can see this on the website. So much stuff that I even forgot. I don't even remember this. At some point, I will have to like go back and redo some of these videos for the newcomers, so it's not forgotten. But I'm not there yet because I have so much still to do, so much still to share that is accumulated, as I always say. So turn the page to what? I love doing this. This is my role. And I don't even have to have communication with them. You see, this is the thing. I never really had to have communication with them because many times it was broken and we continued working. We always understood that it can disappear at any moment. We cherished every single moment like it could be the last one. We always said that. And you have to adapt, you have to be flexible, you have to flow with the changes, and you have to be very stable and understand the changes. So for me to continue doing this, I didn't even have to have a communication, because that's why I opened Space Academy. Space Academy, Sector Earth, I opened specifically for the moment when I knew now the communication is not happening, which is completely understandable. They are very busy. Mari is busy. She's doing this and that. Athena is doing this and that. A lot of things happening. Well, totally understandable. I'm there to support them. So I opened this Space Academy, Sector Earth, with no need of communication, just redoing the chapters and the information for the new people in the new format. That's what the Space Academy is for. So no communication is needed at this point. I can adapt to absolutely anything and just be that support. What am I saying about this? So yes, I lost my... So I do want to continue helping. I'm not turning the page from that. Another point about this turning the page is that emotionally, no, you have to give it time. This is, like I said, a very difficult situation for us, as this was my life and Robert's life for the last 7-8 years, deeply. Not just some work. You go to work and you come home and you forget. No, this was 24 hours. This was something that I had on my mind, and I still do, and I probably will for a very long time, always. Always. I'm sleeping and I'm thinking about, you know, their life and their affairs, and about the videos, and about what the new idea for the video could be, and this and that. And I'm waking up and the first thing I do is do this, and I wake up with this and I go to sleep with this. That's how it was. So that's how it is still, except for the times, you know, when I go out, when I take my dog out, or when I spend time with Matthias, stuff like that. But everything else, this is all I do. So I don't want to. So yeah, so I don't want to turn the page because I love doing that. Okay, second of all, it's very difficult to turn the page if you don't know what's happening with your friends that just disappear. Yes, I already said they disappeared sometimes and you have to go flow with the changes. But now, this is a very new level of disappearance. This is something fishy, something strange, something suspicious is going on. So we worry about them. You know, if I disappear, do you just tell Robert or Matthias, turn the page, Gosia is whatever. So you will worry, you will want to know that they are okay, of course. Of course. And finally, I can actually say this without worrying that I will be called manipulative. by CIC. Remember last time I said in the chat that I was not happy because Athena and Yaski were gone and I was worried, and they came and said, why are you trying to manipulate? You're expressing, yours. What? So finally I can say that openly without that fear. Yes, I hope they are okay. And it's very difficult to turn the page if you spend so much time with someone and they were your friend and family, because they were my family. I didn't have any friends at all, except for Robert and Matthias for the last 7 years. I spent more time with them in the last 7 years than with anybody on the whole planet in my whole life. Sometimes it was literally hours and hours per day. There were years, like between 2020, 2021, before Mali came, that Yaski used to spend every night for hours with me chatting, especially when, at the time she wasn't very understood by the taygétiennes. So it was like a family. So suddenly, something strange happens. Like I said, it will be different if they disappear on their own accord, and that, of course, I'll be the first one to understand that because I'm very nomadic, and I go and I cut ties very easy, actually, with my friends, with my family. I am not attached. So I could totally understand that. But the circumstances are what is causing a little bit of concern. Not just the disappearance itself, not the fact that I don't have them to talk to. It's not just that, it's worrying that they are okay because of the circumstances. So that's another point why it's not just easy to turn the page. And another point, us turning the page on this is exactly what the other side wants. Whoever is there, they have tried to take over and have a total control over this, and to destroy everything that has been built until this moment. Destroy the reputation of the predecessors, destroy the reputation of our reputation, and us going away and turning the page and focusing on something. That's exactly what they want, and we cannot do that. We are not going to do that because that's having them win, and we are not going to do that. Because I also believe that it's a continuous. Well, I am hearing something. Maybe people are knocking. I don't know. It's a continuous responsibility on our part to continue disseminating this information. I mean, the girls have done so much effort. They gave so much of themselves that work they have, that effort they gave, deserves our continuous care to share that with the people as much as possible. Like, for example, with Space Academy, new format or whatever. Robert is doing lives, for example, now, going over the older Svaru's chapters. The information deserves to be shared, the information deserves the continuous attention. So, we cannot do that because that's exactly what the other side wants. They want us gone. They want us disappeared. They want us out of the picture for some strange reason. Tell me why. I don't know why. But that's why we cannot do that. And the last point, okay, about this turning the page. In a way, we are turning the page, even though everything I just said, okay, yes, but in a way, we are turning the page because we continue our life. That's also a manner of turning the page. We just went to Tromsø, we enjoy life, I take my trips, here and there. We continue our life. We have projects. I'm going to start now painting. The first time in my life, this was like something on my to-do list for a long time, to paint something, and I'm going to paint Bongo, my dog. I bought paints, I bought the whatever canvas. So I have projects, I have things to do. I also focus on my travel channel where I make videos. So the life continues. We have always said that for 7 years we have to be flexible and we have to go with this, whatever happens. It's just that we never in a million years expected this to happen. never.